I had always been a cautious driver, but that fateful night, my caution would prove futile against the relentless grip of darkness. It was a stormy evening, rain pouring down like a torrent, obscuring the windshield and reducing visibility to a mere haze. The wind howled ominously, adding an eerie symphony to the already treacherous conditions. I glanced at the clock on the dashboard, noting the late hour. I had stayed at work longer than usual, caught up in the demands of an urgent project. The roads were deserted, illuminated only by the occasional flickering streetlight that fought against the encroaching shadows. But I was determined to make it home, my cozy bed beckoning like a sanctuary from the storm. As I navigated the slick pavement, my grip on the steering wheel tightened, my knuckles turning white. The windshield wipers struggled to keep up with the relentless downpour, their rhythmic motion adding to my growing unease. Each raindrop that pelted the car felt like a warning, a reminder of the dangers that lay ahead. The darkness seemed to intensify with each passing mile, swallowing the road in its inky abyss. I switched on my headlights, their feeble glow piercing the night, only to be swallowed by the dense fog that clung to the landscape like a sinister veil. The journey that should have taken me no more than 30 minutes now felt like an eternity. As I drove further into the night, a sense of unease settled in the pit of my stomach. Shadows danced at the edge of my vision, elusive and fleeting. Was it just a trick of the light, or was something more sinister lurking in the darkness? I tried to shake off the feeling, attributing it to fatigue and the eerie ambience of the storm. But then, in the distance, I saw it, a solitary figure standing by the roadside. Their silhouette was hunched and shrouded, partially obscured by the rain-soaked curtain that enveloped them. A hitchhiker, perhaps seeking refuge from the storm. Every instinct within me screamed to keep driving, to ignore the beckoning figure. But a strange mix of sympathy and curiosity compelled me to stop. I pulled over, the sound of rain battering against the roof like a warning drumbeat. The hitchhiker approached, their form appearing even more shrouded and mysterious up close. The hood of their cloak concealed their face, leaving only a sliver of pale skin visible. Without a word, the hitchhiker climbed into the passenger seat, the scent of damp earth and decay permeating the car. An uncomfortable silence settled between us, broken only by the relentless pitter-patter of rain against the windows. I stole glances at the hitchhiker, their presence casting an eerie stillness over the vehicle. It was then that I noticed their hands, pale and delicate, like porcelain. A chill crept down my spine, the hairs on the back of my neck standing on end. Something about those hands, so unearthly and ethereal, filled me with a sense of foreboding. I mustered the courage to speak, my voice quivering with unease. "Where are you headed?" The hitchhiker turned to me, the hood of their cloak falling back slightly, revealing a pair of piercing blue eyes that seemed to emit an otherworldly glow. They spoke in a whisper, their voice both haunting and melodic. "Anywhere away from here. Away from the storm that rages within." The cryptic response sent shivers down my spine. Who was this hitchhiker, and what storm were they referring to? But before I could gather my thoughts, a bone-chilling coldness permeated the air. I could see my breath misting in front of me as an inexplicable darkness filled the car, eclipsing even the storm outside. The hitchhiker's eyes glowed brighter, their ethereal light illuminating the confined space. It was in that moment that I realized the truth. The hitchhiker was no ordinary passenger. They were a harbinger of the supernatural, an entity drawn to the night and the unsuspecting souls who dared to venture into its realm. Fear gripped me, threatening to immobilize me. I reached for the door handle, desperate to escape the clutches of this enigmatic figure, but it was as if the car itself had become a prison, locking me inside with the impending danger. The hitchhiker turned their gaze toward me, a twisted smile curling their lips. "You should not have stopped," they whispered, their voice now filled with a malevolent glee. "For now you shall share in my eternal torment." Panic consumed me as the hitchhiker's true form was revealed. The cloak disintegrated, revealing a gaunt figure with translucent skin and elongated limbs. Their face contorted into a grotesque mask of agony, as if trapped in an eternal state of torment. I was face to face with a specter, a lost soul condemned to wander the night in search of victims to share in their anguish. I mustered every ounce of strength and resolve, my survival instincts kicking into overdrive. With a surge of adrenaline, I lunged for the door handle, flinging myself out of the car and into the storm. Rain soaked through my clothes, drenching me to the bone, but the coldness of the rain was a welcome reprieve from the icy grip of fear that had held me captive. I stumbled through the darkness, the torrential rain blurring my vision. Behind me, I could hear the hitchhiker's haunting laughter, echoing through the night like a siren's call. But I refused to let it consume me. I ran, my heart pounding in my chest, the rain masking my footsteps. As I fled, the storm intensified, as if nature itself recognized the danger that pursued me. Thunder rumbled overhead, the sky splitting apart with bolts of lightning that illuminated the landscape. The wind whipped through the trees, their branches clawing at the air like skeletal fingers. I reached a crossroad, a fork in the desolate road that stretched before me. Instinct guided my decision, and I took a path that led me deeper into the forest. Branches slapped against my face, leaving angry welts in their wake. But I pressed on, driven by an indomitable will to survive. The forest seemed to close in around me, the trees forming a dense canopy that swallowed the feeble light. Shadows danced at the edge of my vision, their forms twisting and contorting as if animated by some unseen force. Whispers filled the air, disembodied voices that seemed to mock and taunt me. In the distance, I saw a glimmer of light, a faint flicker that offered a sliver of hope. I ran toward it, my breath ragged, my heart pounding in my ears. As I drew closer, I realized it was a cabin, a solitary beacon of safety amidst the encroaching darkness. I threw open the cabin door, collapsing to the floor, gasping for breath. The warmth of the fire crackled in the hearth, offering solace and comfort. I had escaped the clutches of the hitchhiker, but the terror of that night would forever be etched into my soul. In the days that followed, I sought answers, delving into folklore and the supernatural. I discovered tales of lost spirits and vengeful entities that roamed the night, preying on unsuspecting souls. The hitchhiker I had encountered was but one of many, a manifestation of the darkness that haunts the roads after sunset. I vowed to never drive alone at night again, the memories of that night serving as a constant reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows. The world may dismiss such stories as mere superstition, but those who have glimpsed the true horrors of the night know better. So, dear reader, heed my cautionary tale. Be wary of the darkness that lies beyond the reach of your headlights. For within its depths an insidious malevolence waits, ready to ensnare those who dare to venture into its domain. Trust your instincts, and may you find safety in the light of day, far away from the night's embrace.